Publishers don't sell you games anymore, they sell you lies. Carefully crafted, focus grouped, market tested lies designed to separate you from your money before you realise what you've actually bought. This isn't incompetence, it's strategy, and the evidence is insane. They don't ship finished games anymore, they ship trailers, they ship ideas, and they make millions doing it before the real game even exists. You're not buying a product, you're buying the illusion of one, the promise of something incredible that exists only in carefully edited footage, scripted demos, and flashy adverts. And we keep falling for it every single time, hoping that this time, maybe this time, things might be different, that the trailer actually represents what we'll get, that the promises are real, that we're allowed to be excited this time because surely it can't happen again, right? The problem is it does, and this is their entire strategy, banking on us being fooled by flashy trailers so they can pocket our money before we've even realised we've been fleeced. The second they've got our pre-order or we buy our early access super premium elite gamer edition, it's game over. Here's how they do it. First, they show you gameplay that doesn't exist. Cyberpunk's 2018 E3 demo, according to developers who worked on it, was mostly fake. Anthem's E3 showcase promised seamless world transitions and dynamic events. The final game had loading screens everywhere and static missions. Then there's the visual downgrades. Watch Dogs, The Division, Aliens, Colonial Marines all showcased amazing E3 demos that looked nothing like the final games. Ubisoft's CEO even admitted to showing target machines rather than actual console hardware. Aliens Colonial Marines was so bad it sparked the first ever class action lawsuit for false advertising in gaming. Then they control how and when you find out the truth. Review embargoes that lift on the day of release, certain reviewers not given review copies because they've been blacklisted for being too honest, console versions hidden while PC reviews paint a perfect picture, and the whole time they're weaponizing our excitement against us. Star Wars Outlaws charged 130 quid for the Ultimate Edition, allowing you to play 3 days early, with review embargoes lifting just 1 day before the early access started. Deluxe editions, pre-order bonuses that disappear forever if you wait for the reviews. The people paying the most, the ones most excited, get burned first and hardest. By the time you realise what you've actually bought, your money's already in their pocket. This isn't just a couple of examples, see for yourself. Anthem, according to a former dev, they said, reading the reviews is like reading a laundry list of concerns that developers brought up with senior leadership. They knew it was broken but shipped it anyway. Cyberpunk 2077, a developer who worked on it, said that when they saw the 2020 release date announced, they thought it was a joke. Based on their progress, they expected 2022. The management knew, they shipped it anyway. Battlefield 2042 was marketed as a return to franchise roots. It launched missing a campaign, server browser, voice chat, and dozens of series staples. Gotham Knights was sold as a next-gen superhero experience, but it was locked at 30 FPS on current consoles, played worse than decade-old Arkham games. Redfall, Arcane staff apparently hoped that Microsoft's acquisition would lead to the project being cancelled outright. It shipped anyway, completely broken. Forspoken, Square Enix's next-gen action RPG, empty open world, cringe dialogue, a 4.2 user score while critics praised it. Babylon's Fall, another Square Enix disaster, a $60 live service experiment. The player count literally hit 0, then they just abandoned it. Gollum, launched completely broken, 502 peak players. The developers issued an apology written entirely by ChatGPT. You can't make this stuff up. Starfield promised thousands of explorable planets, delivered thousands of empty rocks. When called out, Bethesda said that the emptiness was a design choice. So that's the pattern, but here's what makes it worse. They're getting better at it. At this point, the lie is the product and the game is just damage control. Bank the money from pre-orders and early access and hope that players don't refund it. They spend millions on PR and damage control, all designed to convince you that you're wrong, that your disappointment is unfair, and that the problem is your expectations, not their lies. They buy influencer opinions. The FTC exposed Warner Brothers for paying YouTubers for positive Shadow of Mordor coverage, contracts that required a positive tone, banning mention of bugs, and more recently Ubisoft dropped 2.1 million on influencer marketing for Assassin's Creed Shadows, paying streamers like Hassan $76,000 to promote it? How are we supposed to trust an opinion from someone who's been paid to pretend that something is great? And the platforms, they're in on it too. Sony's PlayStation refund policy is absolutely insane. You can't get your money back once you've downloaded the game. Not played it, downloaded it. Now, how are you meant to know if the game's any good or not without downloading it? The day before was Steam's most wishlisted game despite massive, obvious red flags, but they still promoted it because it drove clicks, regardless of whether it was a scam or not. And they silenced the critics who don't play along. GameSpot fired Jeff Gertzman for giving Kane and Lynch a 6 out of 10 back in 2007, and when Starfield launched, Bethesda denied review codes to loads of outlets that had been critical of their past games. So it's clear, step out of line and you lose your access. And then they weaponize your psychology against you. FOMO through limited time pre-order bonuses, deluxe editions that make standard prices look reasonable, roadmaps promising to fix what should have been there from day one. Fallout 76, Halo Infinite, prime examples. Promises of fixes and content that either never arrive or take years while you've already paid full price, treating broken launches as platforms for future development. We should be able to trust reviews, trust the marketing, trust that when they show us gameplay, it's actually from the game that we're buying. Why is false advertising perfectly acceptable when it comes to gaming? This isn't bad business, it's just the business model. Look at the numbers. Dragon Age the Veilguard, 82 from critics, 3.9 from players on Metacritic. Starfield, 83 versus 6.8 from players. Battlefield 2042, 68 versus 2.3 from players. That's not a difference of opinion, that's a complete breakdown of trust. And players are finally responding. 40% of Steam's top 20 highest player count games so far in 2025 came from indie or AA studios. Meanwhile, AAA darlings like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, The Last of Us Part 2, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 didn't even crack the top 20. We're finally voting with our wallets and abandoning these big studios for developers who actually respect us. Because whatever the excuse, rush deadlines, live service pivots, executive meddling, we're the ones who pay the price. The player, the customer, every single time. Too many studios have been destroyed by this. RIP Arcane Austin. Too many people misled. Too many years of anxiously awaiting the next big launch only to be disappointed, but we keep on playing it anyway out of some weird nostalgic loyalty, and the cycle continues. So no, it's not impossible, they're just choosing not to do it better because we keep on falling for it. They don't sell you a game, they sell you a fantasy, a performance designed to keep the truth buried until you can't refund it anymore. And the second that we buy in, the game is already over. This is how the machine works. Every trailer, every promise, every roadmap, it's all designed to extract your money before the reality catches up. Because they figured out the formula. Why ship a finished game when you can sell the idea of one? Why tell the truth when lies are more profitable? Because your next pre-order, they're counting on you for getting all of this, hoping you'll get swept up in the next hype cycle, the next revolutionary trailer, the next promise that this time will be different. And it won't be. Not unless we stop proving them right. So if you're done getting lied to, subscribe, because I don't do hype, I don't do marketing spin, I do the truth, because someone needs to keep calling out this stuff. Thank you so much for watching, appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one.